Hello everybody, welcome to Nintendo Expansion Pass here on Bosch Pressure Network. I'm your host, Lots Excited Eddie. Joining me is the one, the only bossman himself, Mr. Corey Dirrig. Hello, good sir.
Hello, Ed. It's a midnight party.
Yes, it
for
is.
Expansion Pass because there's literally no time in between now and the time it posts where we can record. So this is how this works. We just got done recording the most tired Power Block episode I've done in a long time. So I keep looking at my ring light, like the camera's up there. It's right here. My ring light is up there, and the cameras are here. This is the third time I've done this tonight. Oh my gosh, Ed, this is... I'm done. I'm not done. I'm here. I'm sorry, guys. Here, look, Red Bull, chugging it.
No. Well, I saw like nothing was in the can.
Nope, that's this one. and this one.
Oh no!
This one still has half a drink in it.
Oh wow!
And this box still has 3 cans in it.
Wow! Before you go buy another one.
No, I already bought another one. Oswald's sitting on it right here.
Oh wow!
No, the next package comes on Thursday.
Oh, wow.
It's fine. We're all good. I'm not an insomniac, and I sleep very good at night in a bed. I promise. No, I don't.
I mean, I can't confirm because of PAX, which is weird because you just like Ed, you snoring. I'm like, I snore? I'm like,
yes, really? Very loud.
I think that was that sound came from somewhere else.
No, you and Pat have 2 very distinctive snores.
Someone would have to like video record me
I'm
sleeping.
No, that's just weird. Videotaping while sleeping.
So videotaping to hear the sound.
If you say so.
Because I don't feel like snoring or anything.
Yeah. Well, anyways, I just want to hang out and say we're just going to hang out.
Yes.
Ed sneezing into the microphone. Long pause. It's cool.
Okay. So, well, actually, I kind of have a question to ask you. There was a story about Nintendo not letting Epic use Samus in Fortnite because they wanted her to be only exclusive to Nintendo. And some people had a field day or a meltdown and be like, they must not want money, blah blah blah, this and that. And I kind of was wondering, Corey, do you think fans are getting tired of Nintendo gatekeeping their characters?
Nintendo gatekeeping their characters?
Mm-hmm.
You mean like, are you talking about like the Metroid Fortnite thing?
Yeah.
Who cares? Gosh, who cares? Everybody just wants all these companies' games on other platforms. Just stop. No, I don't care. It's their IP. They can do whatever they want. Next.
Well,
sorry, I was being mean, but still, it is kind of annoying though, right? I mean, it's just like, it's really annoying to, and I get that Nintendo has been a lot less open than other companies, but also Nintendo is operating the way that companies have operated for hundreds of years. Mm-hmm. So, I don't know. I just think in this world where everybody feels like they need to own and have everything and don't have to pay for any of it, or they deserve to own one console and play these games on another console. Sea of Thieves being the highest pre-ordered game on PlayStation, and stuff like that, and Fortnite having this crossover metaverse thing, right? I think a lot of people were really wanting Nintendo to participate in the crossover, and Samus was, Fortnite had reportedly already created the model and Nintendo put the threw the hammer down, which is kind of weird. That like the thing is for Epic didn't want to have exclusive skins to platforms, right?
Hmm.
But the Onyx colored versions of Master Chief and the Gears characters are Xbox exclusive. You have to play Fortnite on Xbox to get those skins.
All right.
And so I don't know why Epic was being strange about that. Like I guess because you can technically play as Master Chief on PlayStation and Switch or on PC, right? But
Yeah.
uh the Onyx version you have to play it on Xbox to have that skin. I don't know. But still I don't know. I think there are literally thousands of skins in Fortnite. Do you really want 50 Samuses running around on the same map? Like, no. Who
And
cares?
then people taking that character model and modding her on PC
Yeah.
to,
I mean, I don't
you
think
know,
that's as big of a deal as people think, especially because mods aren't a thing in Fortnite. Um,
hmm. Oh, people
I
will
mean,
try though.
ripping those character models out of Unreal Engine, I guess, is probably relatively easy uh, for people who know how to do that stuff. I guess I didn't think about it that way, but I don't know, man. I don't really care. Nintendo has always been protective of their IP. I am not surprised nor
Hmm.
mad because Nintendo has already set those expectations for fans, and they have for I don't know since they stopped putting Donkey Kong on the Atari and putting it on the NES because that was their hardware. So
Yes.
I don't know, man. I don't care. I really don't care. Nintendo has always been protective of their IP, um, and so that's who cares. I don't care. I really don't care. It just still shocks me that people are shocked that Nintendo still does this stuff. So, and I'm not being a Nintendo like supporter or cheerleader, right? It's just
Hmm.
they've already set those expectations. They have for us for, you know, ever since online gaming was a thing and people wanted, the Master Chief and Metroid crossover first person shooter when Halo 2 and Metroid Prime came out at the same time, right? Or uh, it's just I don't know, man. I think it's a little bit strange that people still think this.
Well, I kind of wonder if what would happen if Nintendo did like like Mario, let's just say, like if he not losing his trademark or copyright, but ends up going in public domain.
Hmm.
Uh, what do you think would happen? You
Well,
know, like of course all the gamers are going to be like excited because Mario now is public domain and people could do whatever they want with them.
well, I don't know if public domain in Japan works the same as it does in the United States,
Hmm.
and maybe it does. Maybe there's some sort of public domain style thing because I mean Castlevania, those are all existing characters in the Dracula lore.
Yeah.
Like that all those characters, even Alucard exists in Dracula lore, right? Outside of Castlevania. So and I just so I guess if you kind of want to look at it backwards, Castlevania is kind of what you would look at, but
Hmm.
um I don't I don't know. In my opinion, Nintendo will fight forever. The way that Disney fought for Mickey Mouse for so long, you know, uh
Yes.
and got that copyright stuff changed from I think they started in like the 60s or the 70s. I think it was the 70s right after Walt Disney died that they
Hmm.
started fighting to keep Mickey Mouse out of the public domain and they succeeded all the way until this year, right? I mean, and even then like they got the copyright changed to where it's each version of Mickey Mouse will enter the public domain after 95 years. It's not just Mickey Mouse, like Steamboat Willie and I think the next one is Plain Crazy Mickey Mouse will enter public domain, but it's still like it's only those versions of Mickey Mouse, right? Like the weird. So Disney Illusion Islands version of Mickey Mouse. Let's use that as an example because that's like
Yeah.
the most recent redesign, I think, in recent memory. That version. When did that game come out? 2022?
Uh, 23, I think. Last,
2023?
yeah, last year.
Okay, so
Yeah.
if that game came out in 2023, that game will enter public domain in 2118. That
Wow.
doesn't even sound like a real year.
Exactly.
But you know what I mean? And like the trademark of the trademark of Mickey Mouse will like always. I mean, it'll always be I think tied to Disney until everybody that remembers is dead.
Hmm.
And even by then, we'll probably all be part of an AI consciousness somewhere anyway. Well, the generation under us will all be dead by then.
But it feels like stuff like that, just with the Disney stuff, it's the bad movie horror, like B
Yeah,
rated, C rated movie stuff.
yeah, but
And
that's
I,
what they always do with kid stuff, though, right? As soon as kid stuff goes into public domain, the first idea anybody has is, oh, let's make it scary,
mhm.
and it's like that's the lamest idea you could possibly have,
And I just wondered, like, if Nintendo characters end up in the public domain, how many developers are going to make games using Mario
Yeah,
and using their own vision of Mario, and stuff? Because it's just like, well, Nintendo don't hold the rights to it, um, and stuff. Like, our developers, um, well, that's too much in the future. Let's just say hypothetically, the developers of now, if they were to, use Mario in a public domain space, gaming wise, will these developers be able to do it justice? I'm like, Insomniac. I think Insomniac would probably be the best. Uh, being able to use Mario, because their platform games really have a nice quality to them, I should say.
hmm
you know but like, will we see um a Tim Schafer version of Mario?
yeah,
Like, how many developers would jump on the chance to make a Mario game? Doesn't
yeah,
mean it has to be a platform, just a game.
yeah. I mean, I could see a future where Nintendo starts. I mean, I think that's why they keep creating new IP every generation, right? And like,
Hmm.
I mean, if you want to be fair, I guess, like Mario isn't going into the public domain when Super Mario Brothers goes into the public domain. He's going into the public domain when something like Wrecking Crew or Donkey Kong comes out, right? It
Hmm.
goes into the public domain, right? So because that was the first appearance of Mario, or tennis or golf or something, whatever one of those games were. I think probably Donkey Kong, right? Was his first appearance, or was it Wrecking Crew? I don't remember.
Donkey Kong.
Yeah, I couldn't remember if Wrecking Crew was a arcade game or not.
It is. No, Wrecker Crew is it? Because that one was with Rob the Robot,
Yeah. Huh. Yeah. I guess.
and I think at that time Mario was known as Jumpman.
Yeah.
Um, I know for Atari there was Mario Brothers.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Um. So I mean, I think where was I going with this? Yeah, I think I don't know. I think Nintendo will keep creating IP, and I mean, who knows if Nintendo will even be relevant by then? But I mean, they will be because they're Nintendo. I feel like, but
right.
I mean, how many times have we said they're going to be irrelevant and they end up being more relevant than ever? So I think I think what they should, I mean, what they're doing is they keep creating new IP, and some of them hit and some of them don't, right? But like, I mean, you look at something like Animal Crossing is knocking on Mario's door. Zelda is clearly, I mean, I guess Zelda's a bad example because it was created in the 80s also, but uh, I'm trying to think. Splatoon is huge.
Yep.
I mean, Arms was one that they didn't hit, but I mean, we talked about this on an episode of Pal Block at one point where um, Nintendo has created a new IP, has not created, but either created or has funded and owns a new IP every year except for 1 year since 1987.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean they have a ton of IP they could utilize. Some of them, like I said, some of them are huge, some of them are not, but it's I don't know. I think Nintendo will be fine. Mario will remain an icon forever, just
Yeah.
like Mickey Mouse is going to be an icon forever. Uh, it just might not be like the core focus of their business, right? I mean, Mickey Mouse is a symbol now for Disney. Mickey Mouse is not the central focus of their business, right?
Yes.
So I imagine Mario will end up that way at some point.
And it it's kind of it just amazes me. Just like kind of the transition of people's opinion of Nintendo. That it's always been for kids. Their games are not for them. But they wish those games was on other platforms. Now we're in an era where that Nintendo made this amazing system with the Switch and these amazing games, but now people want to be like, I want to play them, you know, on PC. I want to play them on this one. I wish Nintendo had a Game Pass service or this kind of functionality online and stuff like that. And it's just it when it comes to the games and those characters, um, pretty much the only people who get up in arms about it is really like kind of, and this is not gonna knock against the Smash community and stuff, but people get up in arms about the Smash game and the tournaments because of Nintendo say about it. Um, and when it comes to like, they wish they had these characters in the game. Uh, I think a lot of people just got this still got this vocal point about Nintendo in their ways, I
Mm-hmm.
should say. You know,
Yeah. I mean, Nintendo's always going to be stuck in their ways, and that's fine. I mean, it's Nintendo, right? I mean, like I said, they've created expectations, and people are going to have to deal with it forever. Whether unless there's some huge drastic change or takeover at Nintendo, like I feel like they are a company that runs on tradition. Um, so
but I think all companies run on some kind of form of tradition in a sense. And I think if they run on that tradition, is how they execute it, because they can still have traditional stuff, but also there's ways to be innovative, um, and smart about presenting different stuff. You know,
mhm.
like I think because like the question I asked earlier, it's just like why people feel mad that Nintendo keep gatekeeping their characters. It's because for me to answer that question, um, it's because I think people don't know how to act if they ever got a hold of a Nintendo character in a game. It's gonna be like, what is the most disgusting or childish thing I could do as an adult to make people look and laugh, instead of being a little bit intellectual about it and be like, man, I could really create a game, um, or have this kind of vision that really is really gonna make an impact for video games in general. It's never that kind of conversation
Mhm.
and stuff. And so for of course, like Nintendo gatekeeps their characters because they know if something goes wrong, Nintendo is going to get the blame for it, and that blame is going to hurt sales, which hurts their business, which hurts investors, which then starts questioning about Nintendo putting out games. They don't want to. Prime example, they don't want to make the mistake that they made with the Super Mario Brothers movie, the first one, the live one. Like
Mhm.
that's how protective they are. Like with the gatekeeping and stuff. I think the reason why they trust Sony with the Zelda movie is because not only has Nintendo worked with Sony in the past, but Sony has a um film history with video games, and they're both in Japan, so it just makes sense business wise for them to work together, and they probably could get really create something majestic
Mhm.
with that movie. I think Nintendo and Sony have a trust, a certain type of trust to make sure that this project of the Zelda movie is done correctly.
Mhm.
And who else in Japan is making video game films that is going to be of a high quality, um and is really going to take a risk, and at this point in time it's going to be Sony.
Yeah.
Nintendo doesn't want the Super Mario Brothers or any of you know the House of the Dead, or um uh whatever, Postal and all of that stuff. They don't want to have movies like that attached to their name when it comes to quality.
Mhm.
you know
Yeah.
So I think Nintendo gatekeeping their characters and their franchise, and they are trying to work outside of that. They're not always trying to gatekeep them, but they want to be like, if we let you use our characters and stuff, of course we're going to have control and have a say, but we want to make sure it's done right at the highest quality that is acceptable.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, also at that point, if like IP ownership is like transferred or whatever, or
Mhm.
public domain, I guess. Like, I don't know if Nintendo has any control over it. I mean, Nintendo won't have any control over it. That's the point of
Right.
public domain. So I think, I mean, if you want to see, I mean, Nintendo obviously clearly has um, opened up a little bit of working with other studios to handle their IP. I mean, Mercury Steam is a great example. Koei Tecmo is a great example.
Yeah.
Uh, they've been doing a lot with these studios, Bandai Namco, Sora. Like there's a lot of studios out there that make their flagship IP. I mean,
Look,
it's
they they let Microsoft do Nintendo stuff for Minecraft. You
yeah. I
know,
mean, yeah. So I mean, Nintendo's open, right? I think Nintendo is open to a lot, and I don't know. I just yeah.
it's definitely with the Samus and like the Samus and Fortnite thing. I think me and you both can agree that like that's Nintendo IP. They have a right to make that choice. You know, just because you have Fortnite, it doesn't mean that you are always guaranteed to get certain type of character, and you have that right. You
Yeah.
know, like still like the biggest crossover is still to Nintendo is Smash Ultimate.
Mm-hmm.
because of the third party indie games and stuff. Um, and I think Nintendo probably people are probably hoping that if the next Smash come out, that they could get their game on there or character from their game in there.
Mm-hmm.
And that's but that takes a lot of work too. So
Yeah. So yeah.
you know, and I think like I feel like even Sony and Microsoft gatekeep their characters, but nobody talks about that.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of those free pass for them, but let's get the pitchforks for Nintendo.
Yeah. So yeah. Anyways, hmm, yeah. Nintendo, am I right? Uh so yeah, I mean it's going to be weird. I mean, we won't be around for this probably, but it's going to be weird when like these IP start going in. It's already weird for me seeing Disney IP going into the public domain. So,
Mhm.
um, I mean, we talked a little bit about that on Powblock this week, about Oswald and Mickey and these characters entering the public domain. So, uh, I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what a I don't know. I mean, but like you think about it, like all these IP we love are going to be in public domain. I mean, Doom is going to be in the public domain at some point.
Yeah,
Destiny, Zelda, God of War, all these IP are going to be somewhere, right?
yeah. It it's just I just wonder how those games like I said, those games gonna turn out with other developers. Because it'll be a new generation of developers. We'll be dead and gone, so we won't be able to see these games or play them. Um, but who knows what stories they're gonna be able to um take with it, and and play and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like, will AI be have his act together and start making video games? Who knows?
Yeah, who knows, right? So
Uh,
I don't know. I think, ouch, ouch. I think Nintendo will do what what Nintendo does best and just keep making great games, and that's yeah.
yeah. So
But yeah, I mean, I think that's all I have for that conversation. But Ed, we should probably address expansion paths because of schedules for a while.
okay,
Um, I know we kind of talked a little bit about it, but uh, I think Ed, I mean, tell me if you want to do something different. Um, but I think what we're going to do is kind of treat expansion pass as a special one-off every month of just like an extra, not like an extra episode of Nintendo Power Block, but um I think what we want to do is treat it more like how we treat book club for Boss Rush podcast. Um More of like a once a month extended episode with and it won't be like a spoiler cast. You probably usually will not be a spoiler cast. It could
right.
be, but have like we'll have like segments specific to expansion pass, and uh obviously we'll have patron questions there, and make it early for patrons and stuff like that. But more of like a 2-hour hangout session for me and Ed instead of a let's make 4 separate smaller episodes where we don't really talk about anything, because we don't have topics because we're both super busy and doing other podcasts and other things and life and work and life and life. uh, But I think expansion pass, we've been trying to figure out what to do with expansion pass for a long time. We've experimented with certain things. We've tried different topic ideas. We tried to make specific topics on specific weeks, and you know, I think expansion pass is good for us, but I don't know. I just, man, it's getting hard with schedules and stuff. I mean, it's after midnight for me, and we started recording this 30 minutes ago. So
Mhm.
it's, you know, I just want to make sure that we're putting out a quality podcast instead of and if this was Nintendo Power Block, it would be totally different. But Expansion Pass is the expanded show for Power Block, and I think there's a little bit of room to adjust on the fly. Yes, I would love to do this every week, and we have been the entire year, which is amazing that we've gotten this far. uh, but also, like, I think I think we need to do better of making this show a real show of, like, like, it has real meaning every month when it comes out, and not just us blabber. I mean, there have been times where we literally don't decide the topic until after we hit the record button, and one of us is usually thrown off. And by one of us being thrown off, it's usually me. But I mean, what do you think about that? You know, um, I mean, what do you think about expansion pass?
Expanding the expansion pass in a sense.
Yeah, you know.
I think it probably will work for us due to our schedules. And work stuff, and just give people a heads up on my side. um I am a traveling shift manager for my job, so my schedule just differs week to week because I'm at a different store closing or opening or doing mid shift, and it gets hard when um you're traveling to different stores. And I'm not mad about it. This just it just happened because we got extra managers at my job, but a lot of the stores in my company or in the company don't have enough managers. And so um in order to have coverage and stuff, or and even have hours just personally for myself, I had to go and work at different stores. And most of the places that I go to, I'm working at night because they don't have no night managers. And that stuff affects my podcasting schedule. um and it's literally been like this since like last year, and I didn't get that position or that title since until like about February.
Hmm.
um Corey, you can attest to that because I tell you my schedule, and I'd be like, dude, I right now I got like 6 keys to 6 different stores, um on top of my own.
Hmm.
uh, so it's just like if they need help, I gotta go uh and travel to that store because that's like my title, and that's what I'm getting paid for. Um and so to make sure that expression pass is at its best, um we probably have to do plan stuff out and having these longer discussions, and um not saying giving people what they want or anything, uh, but to make the show entertaining and make the discussions have some oomph to it, have some bite to it that people listen to be able to give their opinion, and whether they're happy or they scream at us when they're hearing the podcast episode. Like, we kind of want to give them something for that. Um, so I think it's a perfect thing. Which just have to come together with the topics and the stuff to talk about uh with it, because we really don't have a discussion kind of thing for Power Block, and Expansion Pass is kind of our discussion show um that focuses on a topic or different topics. But yeah, like our my schedule for me definitely it's bouncing up and down. It goes crazy and everything because I'm like, if I'm on call, I'm on call.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and everything, and with people definitely at this point not getting hours that they wish that they had, they're not willing to travel to go get those hours, but I am. I got bills to pay, so and Nintendo games to snack. So, um, like personally for me, I think that's going to be a better solution, for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I agree. I just there's been a lot of moving parts behind the scenes lately here. Um, we're trying to boost certain things and trying to, not spend so much time behind the scenes, I guess, if that makes sense. Um, and we're trying to make sure again we're delivering something that is quality
Yes,
and and I think it'll be better for us to do that moving forward. And we may bring it back to every week. We may bring it back to every other week at some point. But for now, I think we're going to do it once a month. And this is not going to count as the once a month for
right.
patrons who pay for it early, right? This is going to be, even though this comes out in May, that this will be, you're still going to get this one. But I think what we are going to do moving forward is have an extended episode once a month with cool topics and questions and things of that nature. Um, because I want, and Ed, I know you want to make this quality and you want it to be successful, and also like on free feeds and stuff, I don't want it to take away from Nintendo Power Block either, and sometimes I think the listenership on that show suffers a little bit from, because we put them out so close together every week. And
Yeah.
I don't know, there's a lot of factors. I want to grow the Nintendo side of stuff again, right? And I think the best way to do that is to just do what we do best, and um, hopefully not be dead tired doing these things.
Yeah.
So but that's
And
that's all I
yeah,
got, I guess.
and I try to think of topics to talk about, because I know with a lot of other Nintendo shows, it kind of feel like some of the topics, the opinions are different, but a lot of those topics are similar. And I'm trying to, you know, I'm trying to break that cycle. So, and I try to create these topics for us to discuss.
Hmm.
And for it, and I'm not saying it's hard or challenging, uh, but I think I just need to get those kind of questions out in advance to make, so that we can have a deeper discussion. So if that takes, if that includes for us to do some research, that includes of us, um like I said, I talk to myself in my brain about things, or talk to myself at work about stuff, because that's kind of sometimes how my brain works and how I work. uh
Hmm.
but I kind of want to be able to have that so that it does create a bigger discussion, um and everything, um because trying to think of original topics, um is challenging, but it can be done.
Hmm. Yeah. I think also like, kind of having like maybe 2 set topics and 2 like a random topic and then Patreon exclusive questions would be cool, like a cool thing. So we'll make an expansion pass doc and kind of, talk about it a little bit. So, but yeah, I'm sorry, I guess, to the people who like this every week. But we do a lot at Boss Rush, and like with like I said, with schedules and with everything that we're doing and kind of some of the new stuff we're prepping for, I feel bad that this is the show that has to take the bullet, right? But and it's really honestly because of Ed and I's schedules are increasing in time, which means less time and less quality time to do this.
Yeah. Like I had to adjust to a lot of other people's schedule, and for me, of course, like I said, I have open availability, and I don't really get to have a set schedule or anything like other people. So like I said, a lot of that stuff like been changing. That's why we've been recording on Sundays for Power Block, because I've been able to have some Sundays off. Most of the time I was having Mondays off to record on Mondays, but even that changed. And so it like my recording days, it switches from week to week, and it's, I won't say that it sucks, but like if someone else's whole schedule changes because they decide to change it, I'm the one that gets their schedule affect the most, and not anybody else.
Yeah.
And stuff. Yeah. And so I gotta try to find a time that works with Corey, to do that recording, and stuff. And of course, I got vacation days that I could use, but I'm like,
yeah, that you're not gonna waste those on
to record, because the thing about it is, even if I use my vacation days, I'm still probably gonna be on call for some craziness.
So anyways, that's kind of it, I guess.
Well, everybody, that's gonna be it for this expansion pass. Have a great week, have a great weekend, and we'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.
Bye. If you want to see how you can become a Patreon producer, head on over to patreon.com/BossRushNetwork. The Patreon producers for this month are Adriel Munger, Austin Campbell, Celeste Roberts, Christian S., Sana Dirrig, Francisco Santillan, Matthew Keel, and Todd Oxtra. Thanks for your continued support of the Boss Rush Network.